to my channel. So today's topic is Newton's universal law of gravitation. What law did the Newton give us of gravitation? Okay, so he said that every particle in the universe attracts every other particle with a force F, which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the distance between them. Square of the distance between them. See, when I remove this proportionality, so I put a constant that is known as the universal gravitational constant. Okay, m2 upon b square. Why did he took the inverse square of the distance? Okay, why did Newton assume? See, in the previous video I have told you about the third Kepler's law. Okay, what was that? According to the Kepler's third law, it says that the time of revolution of a planet around the sun is directly proportional to the mean cube of the mean distance between the planet and the sun. See, when I remove the proportionality constant, I get a proportionality sign. I get t square is equals to k r cube. Now let me assume the motion of the planet around the sun to be a circular motion. So what is the velocity of a particle when it's performing circular motion? It is the distance traveled upon time, right? Now distance traveled is what? When the particle is moving along the circle, that time what is the distance? Is the circumference. And what is the circumference of the circle? That is 2 pi r upon t. Now see, when the planet is moving around the sun, okay, so the force is provided by the centripetal force, which is mv square upon r. Fine. So can I take, so this is v square. So my v square by this equation is what? 4 pi square r square upon t square. Okay, so let me substitute the value. So my f becomes m 4 pi square r square upon t square upon r. Fine. Okay, so this gets cut with this one. So I have m 4 pi square r upon t square. Okay, but by the Kepler's third law of planetary motion, I have t square is equals to k r cube. Okay, so I am substituting it here. So f becomes equals to m 4 pi square r upon k r cube. This gives me r square. So now see, this 4 pi square m upon k, this is constant, only r square is varying. So what it shows that the force is inversely proportional to the inverse proportional to the distance square. Okay, from there Newton concluded that the force of gravitation between two particles is directly proportional to the product of their masses m1 m2 and inversely proportional to the distance square. I can take r or I can take d, anything. Okay, now what I have to see is, see, now the planet is moving around the earth, okay, around the sun, okay, but it is not falling on the sun. Why? Because it has, see, whenever something is performing a circular motion, suppose this particle is performing a circular motion, it has always got a velocity. Because of that velocity, it keeps continuing in the circular motion. If it did not have that velocity, it would fall towards the center. Same with the earth or all the planets, they have got a velocity. Due to that, they keep revolving around the sun. Okay, so we have proved the Newton's universal law of gravitation. Now this proportionality constant is called the universal constant Y, and it's given a specific value 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square upon kg square. Okay. Now how I got this unit and why it's called a universal constant. It's called a universal constant because it does not change with the mass or with the distance between the objects or with the nature of the medium in between. With anything it remains constant. That's why it's a constant value. Okay. Now how it's got this unit? See, my F is equals to G m1 m2 upon r square. So my G becomes what? Equals to F r square upon m1 m2. F is the force unit is Newton, r is the distance meter square, and this one is kg. Masses are in kg, SI unit. So kg square. Okay. Similarly in CGS unit, what the value of the G becomes? The value of the G in CGS unit becomes 9 centimeter square upon gram square. Okay. This is the universal law of gravitation. Okay. Next we'll see what are the properties of this universal gravitational constant or gravitational force. Okay. See, it is always towards the straight line. Suppose I have this particle m1 and I have this particle m2. It's always going to act along the straight line. Okay. It's an attractive force in nature. Fine. And it is also a very weak force. It's a weak force. Okay. It always has got action and reaction force. That means that the gravitational force exists in pair. So these many things are about the gravitational force. Fine. So what it says that the force is directly proportional to the m1, m2 upon, and it's inversely proportional to the distance square, and G is the universal constant. That's what we have to remember in this topic. Fine. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, do give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and do share with your friends.